The story begins with a man named Jake who works in a warehouse called Storage 24. He is busy with his usual work when suddenly a loud bang echoes through the area. Nearby people are startled, and smoke can be seen rising from a building near the warehouse. News spreads quickly that there has been a bomb explosion. The warehouse supervisor steps outside to investigate and discovers that a plane engine has fallen onto his vehicle, completely destroying it. Meanwhile, all the sliding doors in the warehouse automatically close. Nearby, a woman named Lucy is walking her dog. She notices debris from the plane crash and immediately calls her friend, urging him to watch the news on TV. Suddenly, her dog bolts towards the container area and Lucy chases after him. When she gets there, she sees a strange white liquid spread across the ground. Her dog stares into the darkness before barking furiously and running away. Moments later, agonizing screams from the dog echo, and Lucy realizes her dog has been killed. Elsewhere, the story shifts to a man named Charlie, who is visiting Storage 24 with his friend Mark. Charlie is upset after recently breaking up with his girlfriend Sally. On the way, they hear a news report on the radio about a military plane crashing in central London. The report mentions that the plane was carrying something dangerous and classified. After being stuck in traffic for a while, Charlie and Mark finally reach the warehouse, only to find the doors locked. Inside, a mechanic named Bob is attempting to fix the doors. After some time, Bob manages to open the door using emergency tools, and Charlie and Mark enter. However, the doors close again shortly after. Bob and Jake head to the basement to work on the system. In the basement, Bob notices that the ventilation duct cover is broken and hears strange noises in the distance. As he cautiously moves forward, illuminating one light at a time, Jake suddenly jumps out to scare him. Both laugh it off and return to their task. Jake shows Bob the circuit box and then heads back upstairs. On the third floor, Shelly is packing her belongings with her friend Nikki and Nikki's boyfriend Chris. Just then, Charlie and Mark arrive. Shelly explains to Charlie that she had already informed him she would be there to avoid running into each other. However, Charlie doesn't care. He just wants to know why their relationship ended. As they talk, the lights suddenly go out. At the reception desk, Jake is muttering complaints about his job. Deciding to check on Bob, he heads to the basement. Upon arriving, he finds Bob's lifeless body, clearly attacked by something. Suddenly, a terrifying creature appears in front of Jake. Panicked, Jake sprints upstairs and slams the basement door shut. However, the creature begins pounding on the door. Realizing he is still in danger, Jake flees. Meanwhile, Charlie and Mark approach the main door. Finding it locked, they shout for help but get no response. Mark notices Bob's van parked outside and tries calling the number printed on it, only to discover his phone has no signal. At the same time, Chris hears a scream and rushes towards the dark hall. Using his phone's flashlight, he cautiously moves toward a slightly open door. He enters the room and is immediately frightened by the eerie mannequins. Then a statue seems to start speaking, which terrifies him even more. But soon he realizes it isn't the mannequin, it's Jake. Jake is horrified and repeatedly insists that they need to leave immediately. Suddenly, a grotesque hand grabs Jake and drags him upward. Everyone in the warehouse is horrified by the scene. Mark tells Shelly to stay where she is and goes to investigate. At the same time, Charlie arrives and asks where Shelly is. Shelly emerges from a room adjusting her clothes. Charlie realizes that Shelly and Mark are having an affair. Enraged, he attacks Mark. Shelly tries to intervene, but despite her apologies, Charlie refuses to listen. Nikki, upset by the confrontation, follows Charlie to calm him down. As they pass the room with the mannequins, they hear someone sobbing. They enter and find Chris crouched in a corner. Nikki tries to console him, but then they notice blood dripping from the ceiling. Charlie shines his phone's flashlight upward, but sees nothing. Suddenly, Jake appears in front of them. His face is badly injured and he is unable to speak. Seeing him, Charlie collapses in fear. Nikki panics and runs out of the room. Meanwhile, Shelly and Mark arrive in the mannequin room. Charlie informs them that Jake has been gravely attacked. Chris begins muttering that they are all going to die. Elsewhere, a middle-aged man suddenly grabs Nikki from behind. Hearing the scream, the others rush to her. Sally knocks the man unconscious. When they search him, they only find a toothbrush. Nikki realizes the man is mentally unstable and not a criminal. The man named David is delusional, believing that everyone around him works for his ex-wife Mary. He is mentally unstable and has been living in hiding in cabin at Storage 24 since his divorce. Meanwhile, they all hear the growling of the terrifying creature again coming from the ventilation ducts. Charlie tells Nikki to close the cabin door. As soon as the door shuts, the lights go out. Suddenly, loud banging begins outside. Charlie, terrified, insists that the creature won't spare them. When the door breaks, Chris runs down the corridor. The savage beast chases him. Chris desperately tries to hide but is eventually caught. The creature listens to his heartbeat and then tears out his heart in one swift motion. David informs the group that his cabin is the only one that can be locked from the inside. He had created the lock to hide from his wife. The group decides to hide in David's cabin and head to the fourth floor. However, David takes some time to find the correct key. Meanwhile, they hear the creature's noises growing closer. The monster spots them, but at the last moment, David manages to unlock the door. They rush inside and feel momentarily safe. David explains that he has been watching the news since the plane crash and reveals that the government has sealed off the entire area. He claims the creature is not from Earth but is an alien. The group begins to believe him as they have seen the creature themselves. Charlie insists they need to find a way out. He remembers that Bob used a device to open the door when they first arrived. David suggests that if they can locate Bob or his belongings, they could use the device to escape. However, this would require going down 5 floors and the creature could be anywhere. They have no weapons and using the ventilation system is dangerous. David suggests searching other cabins for useful items. Navigating through the air ducts, David guides Charlie and Mark to the cabins. Both enter the ducts and begins their search. They explore several cabins, but most of the contents are strange and useless. Eventually, they find knives, walkie-talkies, fire records, and an iron bar. As they head back with their findings, the creature attacks the air duct. Charlie and Mark try to move quickly, but the monster gets dangerously close. Mark manages to climb up and asks Charlie to hand him the bag of supplies. However, the monster's attack intensifies. Panicked, Mark abandons Charlie and flees to save himself. When he reaches the cabin, he tells the others that he did everything he could to save Charlie but was unable to stop the creature. While the group mourns Charlie's supposed death, they prepare to head to the basement. Meanwhile, Charlie miraculously escapes the monster's grasp as he hides in a cabin filled with toys but soon hears the creatures growling nearby. Overwhelmed with fear, Charlie bursts out of the cabin's door only to find the monster waiting for him in the hallway. Desperate, Charlie grabs a nearby teddy bear and uses it as a shield. The monster viciously shreds the teddy bear. At the moment, a toy dog suddenly turns on and starts making noises, momentarily distracting the creatures. Seizing the opportunity, Charlie flees. When escaping, Charlie runs into Mark. The group is shocked to see Charlie alive. He warns them that the monster is still pursuing them. They all rush toward the basement, but the alien appears on their path. David steps forward, facing the creature, and tells the others to run. He deliberately provokes the alien to distract it. Aware that he likely won't survive, David confronts the monster with bravery. The alien attacks and kills David, but his sacrifice allows the group to reach the basement safely. Once in the basement, Charlie decides to split the group into pairs and stays with Nikki. There, they find Bob's lifeless body and retrieve the critical device needed to open the doors. Charlie and Nikki return to the ground floor with the device, where Mark is waiting for them. Mark informs them that the alien has taken Sally. Hearing this, Charlie becomes distraught and refuses to leave her behind. When Mark tries to stop him, Charlie punches him in anger. Meanwhile, Sally, captured by the alien, uses a hidden knife to free herself. Charlie guides her via walkie-talkie, directing her to the ground floor. Sally narrowly escapes the alien and reunites with the group. To distract the creature, Charlie hides firecrackers inside the toy dog. When the alien approaches the toy, the firecrackers explode, startling the alien. Charlie seizes the moment to rescue Sally, and the two embrace. Charlie, Nikki, and Sally prepare to descend again, but they realize the alien is still alive and angrier than ever. They attempt to open the main door using the device, only to find it locked by Mark. Mark refuses to unlock it, leading Charlie to break the door down in frustration. He connects Bob's device to the door, and during this chaos, Sally slaps Mark in anger. Just then, the alien bursts through the wall and attacks. It kills Mark brutally. Charlie and Nikki fight back using fire extinguisher and iron rods. In a final act of defense, Charlie drives the iron rod through the alien's body, seemingly killing it. Charlie, Nikki, and Sally escape the warehouse, but the scene outside is even more horrifying. They discover that aliens have launched an attack on the entire Earth. Realizing their lives will never be the same, they stand in silence, knowing the fight is far from over. The story ends here, leaving the fate of the survivors and humanity uncertain. So friends, how did you like this story? Do tell us in the comments box, and for such movie explanation, do like, share and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.